The Pokemon anime always finds a way to make me like or straight up love a Pokemon whose design I didn't vibe with in the games. It's happened countless times. Rillaboom and Dracovish are two recent examples, and it happened again with Mega Dragonite, who makes its anime debut here in episode 107, or rather its debut period, since this episode aired before the release of Legends ZA. When Mega Dragonite was first revealed, I ran a poll because I landed squarely in the "it's alright" camp. My thinking back then was simple. For a dragon, especially a pseudo-legendary, I pictured something cooler, more fearsome, more awe-inspiring. Instead, we got a bubbly, rounded, and oddly cute design. While I understood what they were going for, I was honestly a bit disappointed. But once I saw Mega Dragonite in motion, from multiple angles, not just a single still, it finally sunk in. Dragonite has always been a lovable, goofy dragon rather than a terrifying one, and this Mega leans into that beautifully. Seeing it fully animated sells the intent in a way a static render never could. The anime gives you weight, speed, personality, the micro expressions, the timing, the way an attack lands. Incredible larger-than-life flair and a greater sense of scale. Compared to a 2D sprite, a rigid 3D model, or a trailer cut, the anime just breathes life into Pokemon designs in a way the games never can. I didn't love it at first, but now I definitely do. Like, I even find Mega Dragonite kind of cool now. Like, some of that awe-inspiring quality I wanted is here, and it shines through wonderfully in the anime. So yeah, I stand corrected. From here, this episode makes it very easy to fall for Mega Dragonite even more, because just like in the previous episode, the best animation, the cleanest cuts, and the biggest Sakuga moments clearly went to Dragonite. This focus allows it to shine. Dragon Rush and Hyper Beam are showcased spectacularly once again. Via devastating effect, magnificent flair, and fearsome power. I especially love how it uses its tail as a cannon to fire off Hyper Beam. It's so epic. Even the Mega Evolution sequence itself, and the Dragonite making its entrance, plus Uruto begging Dragonite for help when things get dire, realizing he can Mega Evolve it, and finally stepping up to actually command it, unlike in the previous episode, these moments all look absolutely fantastic. It's obvious where the budget went. Now, while I get the logic behind saving your best for the big moments, I'd be lying if I said that it's not disappointing that this level of quality isn't the norm. And speaking of quality that isn't the norm, unlike episode 106, which had an awful battle rescued by Dragonite, episode 107 actually has a decent battle at its core. This time, Dragonite doesn't save a failure, it elevates something that is good on its own. Now, this doesn't mean that it's a remarkable or revolutionary battle. In fact, by my standards and compared to pre-Mega Voltage high points and the previous series, it's still below par for the most part. But relative to this arc's usual battle quality, it's actually pretty decent since it's both tense and creative. The Rabsca pin everyone down with gravity, while Galarian Darmanitan, who manages to still move thanks to the other Darmanitan using Psychic on it, wears the good guys down slowly. It's a clever, nasty strategy that actually builds suspense, since Roy and Uruto are left scrambling for a way to turn the tide. And whenever they seemingly do, the Rabsca sweep in to make their efforts meaningless. I do have to nitpick a leap in logic, however. Laqueum boosted Pokemon are supposed to fight purely on instinct, but coordinated psychic support feels less like instinct and more like deliberate teamwork. But still, credit where it's due. This setup was evil and effective, which only made Dragonite's intervention and subsequent Mega Evolution feel even more powerful, earned, significant, and meaningful. Moreover, this battle just feels more fluid and dynamic than usual. Certainly leaps and bounds above episode 106. And moments like Cap using Bolt Tackle from up high are brilliantly animated, showing that Dragonite didn't eat up all the budget. Clearly, they aren't dedicating more time, effort, and resources to just certain moments. Certain episodes also get preferential treatment. Now, this episode also has a lot to offer in terms of story and characters. Uruto is forced to face his own helplessness. He admits that when things get rough, he cannot save his friends. He's just not strong enough. Surely a painful realization for someone so proud and full of himself. But it's humanizing that his frustration comes from failing to protect others, not from not being the strongest. This leads into him begging Dragonite for help, which triggers a flashback featuring his father. This scene frames Dragonite as a partner entrusted with a purpose. It should step in when Uruto chooses to fight for someone else's sake. This lines up with what episode 106 already implied about Dragonite, that it only appears when certain conditions are met. Once Uruto commits to protecting everyone, Dragonite answers, and when it's not strong enough on its own to overcome such a grim situation, it goes beyond with Mega Evolution in response to Uruto's trust in it. This episode pushes a clear idea. Power in service of others, not ego, is the right path and what makes Dragonite fight, as well as a lesson Uruto's father likely wanted to impart on his son. This ties beautifully into Roy and Uruto's friendship, which evolves over the course of both this episode and the previous one. In episode 106, Roy snaps at Uruto, who runs away hurt, angry, and confused. But then Roy recognizes that he was wrong, and he sets out to apologize and make amends, which is why he ends up tracking down and saving Uruto. They then overcome adversity by working together, which leads to Uruto deciding that now he wants to be stronger, to be the strongest, so that he can protect those he cares about, including Roy, which Uruto unsurprisingly tries to deny. This moment hits. Its growth earned through conflict, accountability, and realizing the care and respect they owe and have for each other. Another character that shined across these two episodes, though quietly, is Molly. She saw Uruto run away in episode 106 and chose not to stop him. In episode 107, she explains why. She's run away before. Sometimes you need to step out to clear your head, broaden your horizons, and come back better. She doesn't shame him. She gives context, a little guidance, and privacy. Her contribution is small but powerful and meaningful, a reflection of how wise, mature, kind, and considerate she is, something that only makes me like her even more. Finally, there are two minor, though still significant moments in this episode that I want to address. First, the episode begins with Diana and Amber walking together after they worked together so she could catch a Pokémon off screen. Before parting ways, they agree that the ones who inherited the wills of Giveon and Lucius, Amedeo and Liko, are essential to bringing down Spino. This is a short scene, but it clearly serves as setup for future episodes, both narratively and by giving us a compelling "Who's that Pokémon?" mystery. Second, after the explorers capture Uruto, he notices several Pokémon that are locked inside cages. These are clearly the heroes who Uruto doesn't know as of this episode. Hence why he doesn't realize that he stumbled upon something quite significant here. He will undoubtedly learn who the heroes are eventually, at which point he will realize the importance of this moment, something that will surely be meaningful to the story. So overall, this episode was pretty good. Dragonite absolutely stole the show, thanks to both the narrative weight behind its reappearance and subsequent Mega Evolution, and the fantastic animation that accompanied these crucial moments, and the Mega Dragonite delivering a stellar beatdown. While the battle was still far from amazing, compared to others in this arc, it actually wasn't too bad, due to it being surprisingly tense and creative, and featuring several stellar moments with equally stellar animation. Additionally, the character and the story beats in this episode, from Uruto's humility, courage, and resolve, to Roy's apology and rescue, and Molly's quiet wisdom, to the brief backstory surrounding Dragonite and Uruto's father, all landed, leading to an episode that was both compelling and meaningful. Throw in the fact that this episode genuinely made me change how I feel about a new Pokemon design, and you get an episode that was engaging, entertaining, and enjoyable the whole way through. If you enjoyed this video and wanted to see more like it, feel free to click the links on screen. And if you'd like to support the channel and help me keep making content like this, you can find all the ways to do so in the description and in the pinned comment. Whether it's through a small donation or just watching and sharing, every bit of support means the world to me. Thank you so very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.